I want guys to pursue fitness in a different way. I want it to be fun and more engaging. It doesn't have to be cruel, torturous when you think of going to the gym, like we were saying before. I want my clients to feel they are part of this. I don't want to dictate everything, I want to hear their side of the story so that we can approach the next program in a different way. Right? I've really experienced growth, and I've come across a few challenges, but I take them positively. One thing I love about CrossFit is it is constantly varied. There's no leg day, there's no arm day, there's no chest day.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the Shujaa Fitcast. My name is Kanyeki Kamawe and I am here today with another guest. This Fitcast is dedicated to helping you, inspiring you, and teaching you about fitness. It's about making fitness more accessible to the larger majority out there. Fitness does not have to be a headache, and that's the reasoning behind having this show and having local fitness professionals here with us to discuss all the issues surrounding fitness, their journeys as well. We'd like to learn more about who we have in studio. It's basically a way we get to explore this big world of fitness and make it digestible to most of us out there. A lot of times fitness is made very complex and very difficult unnecessarily, and with this show we hope to debunk some of that and just release all of us from the pressures that are put on what fitness is and simplify it for you. So hopefully the Fitcast helps you with that. I am the founder of Shujaa Fitness, where we offer products and services related to fitness. I also wrote an ebook that comes with 2 free workout programs for anyone who's interested. Again, in line with this show is to make fitness accessible for everyone. So if you are interested, check out Shujaa Fitness on Instagram or TikTok or even Facebook, and you can access the book, and it goes for just 500 shillings. So invest in yourself, and I hope it helps you out if you're able to get the book. That being said, I would like to introduce our guest for the day. I have in studio today Vince Fitness, aka Vinnie Njau, and Vinnie is a certified personal trainer. He's also a level 1 CrossFit trainer as well. And are those two the same thing, or are those two separate things?
Which one?
Being a personal trainer and
being
the CrossFit.
Being a certified personal trainer, you are certified by a different body, like American Council of Exercise or ACE or any fitness institution.
Okay.
But basically CrossFit, they train people CrossFit only. So you get to do another certification with CrossFit that is separate, which is a CrossFit level 1 trainer. Okay.
And we'll talk a bit more about CrossFit because I'm very curious about CrossFit. I don't know much about it, so it'll be interesting to get into that. But Vinnie is also he's studied a Bachelor of Science in Physical Education as well. So someone with a lot of experience when it comes to the human body. Hopefully we'll be able to go deep into the things that make our bodies tick and how he can help us improve in our fitness journeys. So to start off this conversation, first, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's a huge privilege and really honored to be here. Let's do this.
Karibu sana. Yeah, man. So take us back to a time before fitness. How did you get your start? What inspired you to even
start fitness? I have quite a story. When I finished high school, I was overweight.
Okay.
I was overweight, and we are talking about 120 kilos and above.
Wow.
So I was getting ridiculed quite often by people, everyone. So one day sitting at home, I was talking to my sis. She suggested we have a field nearby. You can be running in the evening and do a few laps every day. So I started the same day.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I took my dad's tracksuit, went to the field. The first day I did like 3 laps. I was dying. Then I went back home. So I did a lot of research. I realized I reduced the intake of carbohydrates. That was the major issue. Then there was a lot of consistency. With time, I realized there is a football team that plays in that field. So as I was running, they suggested you should join us. It is even better. It will help you lose weight. So
to play football.
To play football.
Okay.
So from a tender age, I used to play under 14 football. So I stopped playing football around beginning of Form 1 and Form 4. So 2 months of running solo in the field. Then I joined the football team doing their usual training. The first 3 months it was very difficult. I was always in pain. But within 8 months, I lost so much weight. But I was healthy. I was really okay. And it felt so good. Like I was comfortable. I could do anything. I can sprint. I can run. Then I played football for quite some time. Then I got an injury. Took me 2 years. My physio suggested you should try swimming. I got a hip injury.
From swimming?
From running.
Oh, okay.
From football. I think I did something to alter my groin, overstretching or something. Then it kept recurring. Instead of me resting or taking a back step, and I kept playing. So anytime you run kidogo, the injury could go away. But later on in the evening, it was painful. So I moved to swimming for some time. Then my injury healed. So I gained so much interest in swimming. I pursued a lifeguard certification. I became a lifeguard. Immediately after pursuing getting that lifeguard certification, within the same year, I enrolled for swimming coach.
Oh, okay.
Swimming coach level 1 and 2.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So the lifeguard certification, they train you how to save people from drowning and everything, how to treat, to maintain swimming pool water, how to train people learn to swim. So
you were how old at this time?
I was 22, 21. Between 20 and 23, I did so many things in fitness. So one day while I was sitting down, somebody, I don't know, from my family mentioned, you seem to have a lot of interest in sports. Why don't you find something you can do? But my dad wanted me to do information technology, IT. So I had to do IT because that's what my dad wants me to do. So in the process of doing an IT, I had a lifeguard certification. So I got a job as a lifeguard.
Okay.
At a 5-star hotel. So in that process, they have a gym. And I could see how trainers are and what's going on. I gained so much interest in becoming a trainer. So I was like, now I want to stop being a lifeguard. Now I want to be a trainer.
Were you doing any kind of training for yourself at the time?
At the time, because I was under the health club, there was a rule, once you're done with your shift, you can come and train at a certain time. If you're working 2 to 10, come slightly early before 2, train 1 hour or 2 hours, then take a shower, then start your shift. If vice versa, if you're working in the afternoon or in the evening or in the morning. So with time, I started talking to the trainers. Luckily, I had very good colleagues. They could give me advice on what to do. So I did a lot of research on being a trainer. Certification. I did a certification in American Council of Exercise. First of all, I did a certification by Alison Caroline. They have an institute.
Me too. Yeah.
You too, eh?
Yeah, that's why I did mine. Yeah.
Then in the process, once I did the trainer's course, it took me some time I used to volunteer there. It took me some time to get a job. So I used to volunteer. It's more like I want to convince these guys I'm good in what I do. So I could work my usual shift as a lifeguard. Then I'll sacrifice like 2-3 hours and try to do aerobic classes. That's how I learned how to do aerobics classes. Because before, I could really struggle learning how to do aerobics classes. And back then, our experienced trainers could not even bother to train you how to do aerobics classes. So it was a struggle. They could just tell you just come into the class, try this, nini. Some places you could go, they don't want to show you. When I'm at home, nearby gym, I could try.
Yeah.
So eventually I got to learn aerobics. Then I got a job as a trainer. When I got a job as a trainer, I did 3-4 years. Then I was promoted to being a supervisor in that health club. Then I moved on to being an assistant manager. Then my manager left. I was in charge for around 6 months. Basically, I have a 10 years experience in the fitness industry. I stayed there for 10 years. But before that, I was just doing swimming. I was doing competitive swimming, and I used to love it. So I was happy I could incorporate swimming and gym. So fast forward, I resigned. I resigned and became before I resigned there, I came to work at Westgate. Ignite. Then after Ignite, that's when I resigned. I became a freelance personal trainer.
What caused that shift?
When I was working at the 5-star hotel, most of the time I was extremely busy. Like you could miss your breakfast, lunch easily. By the time you look at your watch, it's 3 p.m. I'm supposed to be leaving. Most of my clients could call in, I'm coming, please don't leave. Kindly wait for me. So one day I was thinking, if I can be able to do this at my own free time, I can even give these clients better services. Because now I'm working under shift. Sometimes it causes friction with your with your colleagues. Why don't you leave us these clients? We train them, yet the clients are requesting, can I train with Vinnie? Just preference, yeah. And so I've been thinking for some time. Then after Ignite, then there was COVID, right? 2020, right?
Yeah, 2020.
So during the 2020, that's when I started. Actually, we took a break to COVID. So after COVID, we didn't go back. Personally, I didn't go back. I started doing personal training. So by the time Ignite were reopening, I had done a lot of freelance personal training, and I was like, oh my goodness, isn't it too late? Yeah. Why didn't I do this like 5 years ago?
You found your place.
I found my place, and it was successful. So by the time they reopened, they called all of us, the former employees. Me personally, I was like, what's the package? What are you offering? Because I really don't want to waste my time, and I don't want to waste my employer's time. They really wanted me to do CrossFit classes at Ignite. They really had a good boss. Her name was Joy. Very supportive boss. Very good boss. So I told them, I can do the classes, but I will not be able to cover shift because I have other clients I need to attend to.
Were you certified with CrossFit by that time?
Yeah.
Okay. So that you had already done
CrossFit level 1 in 2017.
Okay.
Actually, when I was in the 5-star hotel, most of my clients contributed for me going to do the CrossFit level 1 in Dubai.
Okay.
That's when I did my CrossFit level 1.
Yeah.
So when I came back, I introduced CrossFit to my clients.
What is why do you love CrossFit? Like, what is it about CrossFit? Because it's clearly become very popular.
It's very popular.
Yeah.
And one thing I love about CrossFit is it is constantly varied. There's no leg day, there's no arm day, there's no chest day. The kind of workouts we program in CrossFit, it's more functional. Like, I can, after that, when I go to countryside, I can help my grandparents do something so easily. It's so functional. There's no monotony. Because personally, I realized when I do something for more than 8 weeks, if I do a program for more than 8 weeks, it becomes boring. And in CrossFit, it is diverse. There's days you're doing gymnastics, there are days you're doing metabolic conditioning, there are days you're doing weightlifting. So weightlifting is fun, gymnastics is fun. Gymnastics is fun, but it's very difficult to master the skill. Same with weightlifting. So, and in CrossFit, we practice the same weightlifting with Olympics, the clean and jerk and the clean and jerk and the snatch.
So thinking about, because you seem to have so much experience with so many different kinds of fitness, I'm wondering, what is it? So rewind back to the time when you gained all that weight when you were younger. What caused that weight gain if you had so much passion for exercising and all these things?
I used to play football in high school. I was one of the guys that will not miss out on the school team. But I think towards the end of fourth year, I quit football to concentrate on studies.
Okay.
Then I realized I was eating a lot of deep fried foods back in school. There was mandazi, there was nini, and my body could not react so well with deep fried foods and carbohydrates. So I think that was the main challenge. That's why I gained a lot of weight.
Wow.
Then when I came home, I remember back then I used to eat quite a lot of food. Not because I was hungry, but because I've seen food. So I learned how to, it was a habit. I learned how to control myself, to eat when it's necessary, and how to fuel my body, basically.
So it seems like there was also like a mental shift with how you are looking at things in that regard. So is there someone somewhere that inspired you to take a deeper look into how you're living your life with regards to your body? When
I got a job as a trainer, I came across a physiotherapist. We had a physiotherapist. We had so many trainers, and I could ask them so many questions because I was more of an intern, and I could ask them so many questions. What leads to this? Why is so and so this and this? So that's where I came to learn about deeper about body types. And body types are different. There's somebody who can eat fried food every day. They're okay. Their six-pack will still on. But if you eat fries for 3 days, it's gone. So I started learning my body. I started learning what program works for me. And during that time, that's when I came across CrossFit in 2016, 2015. And I didn't have much knowledge, but when I started practicing it, I did a lot of research, and slowly I learned how to program, how this and this works, how this and this doesn't work, how like the workout you do today, make sure the workout that you do today doesn't affect tomorrow's workout. So it was interesting because I had tried doing bodybuilding for some time, and no offense, but sometimes it felt boring. I don't want to do the same thing over and over again. But I'll tell you for free that nowadays I incorporate in my CrossFit program. I'll incorporate bodybuilding, I'll incorporate weightlifting, and any other type of workout regime, just to make sure it doesn't get boring. The same case I'll do for my clients. They'll not necessarily do CrossFit, but I'll program something that will make sure it doesn't get boring. It gets interesting. And so it's interesting that you said that your was it your clients who helped you out with getting to study the CrossFit? Yeah, they came together. They did like Harambe. They contributed, I think, around 200k. They said this is the fee to do a CrossFit level 1 is around 100k. And transport is around 60k to and from, and the rest is accommodation. So they said, how much do you have? I had 60k. They said 60k is keep it for yourself. That's your pocket money. Use this. So funny thing with CrossFit. Amazing. Yeah, I know. Really thankful to those clients. They came through in a major way. Really grateful. So one thing with CrossFit, for you to go and do the exams, you have to study in advance.
Okay.
They'll give you the material in advance. Study. When you're ready, book for exam. So I went to do my exam back in Dubai.
Okay. How long was the study
3
period?
days.
Okay.
I started my advanced studies before I went for the exam. Let me say 3-4 months, 5 months, because you reread. The moment you realize, guys, I've contributed this much of money for my course, you wanted to be sure that you won't disappoint them.
That's amazing. That's a heck of a journey. And now into your Bachelor of Science in Physical Education. What has that helped you with so far? There's
one day I was talking to, we did that Karura thing, the workshop we did with
you need to explain what it is, because you explained to me off camera.
Usually we do a workshop with our mentor. We have 2 mentors, Stephanie Moura and Nduta Maina. So in the beginning of those workshops, I remember I told Stephanie, I need deep knowledge in nutrition. And she was like, see you in KU. Yeah, what else do you need? So at the back of my mind, I was like, okay, let me take advantage. I need to learn more about nutrition, because fitness without nutrition, it's nothing.
You don't have fitness.
Yeah. So, and I realized back then my clients were struggling with nutrition. I wanted to be able to explain to my clients what's happening, what to eat, what do I eat. I have an allergy in this. Can I eat this? That's what I wanted. So I went back to my books. I did a lot of reading, and that's where at least I got a good nutrition knowledge, and I think I'm comfortable now that I'll keep studying, yes, but the knowledge I have currently, it can sustain my clients, but though we still keep learning.
Yeah, for sure, every day. Yeah, that's awesome. So as a personal trainer now doing your own thing, what have been some of the highlights of doing it on your own? How do you think you've grown from when you were working at the health club to now? And
being an individual trainer, a freelance trainer, a major highlight is that I've really experienced growth, and I've come across a few challenges, but I take them positively. I've been able to create a community, a fitness community, whereby we meet with 2 of my fellow trainers, Coach Andy, Coach Maureen. We do a boot camp session at Njau Stadium, one at Parklands. So every Saturday we have all our clients meeting. That's a major highlight. We managed to start a boot camp for clients coming from every corner of Nairobi. Hopefully we will be able to do it even outside Nairobi. That's the goal, and hopefully the goal is to make it as big as possible. Currently we are dealing with 60 active clients, but we have 100 in the WhatsApp group. So I can tell you the future is bright.
Yeah. What does the bootcamp entail?
Basically, bootcamp entails, we have 3 kind of bootcamps. One, we do cardio endurance. Cardio endurance involves there's running, there's a stairs challenge, and there's body weight workouts. And we have a strength training bootcamp. The second one is a strength training bootcamp. This is where we have weights like farmer's carry, tire flips. We have barbells, plates, and dumbbells and kettlebells. The other one is we call it Sweat Festival. This is where we have a spin session, we have a running session, we have a dance Zumba combined, and a functional fitness in between. So we have 3 types of boot camps. So every Saturday we are able to do a different kind of activity. The good thing, what we normally do, we actually make sure we separate beginners from the other advanced and intermediate clients. This is to minimize the injury rate.
Yeah, we talked about that just before
we started
recording. So I think in line with trying to, or just bringing out maybe some more perspective about how you see fitness as a whole. Obviously, that's a conscious decision you've made. Something as simple as separating advanced from
intermediate from beginners.
So obviously you see that that's necessary, whereas what we see a lot of times with fitness is there's not much thought being put into how people are being trained out there. And just in terms of you trying to solve some of those simple but very detrimental issues, what are some of the things you've seen that are kind of weighing down, I guess, the fitness industry in that sense?
Number one is lack of proper attention to detail. As trainers, I think if you mess up a simple movement and you let your client do it in a wrong way, then maybe they have a bald disc or break something back or knee injury. It's done. They won't come back. They'll have that phobia of coming back because of the injury. You know the problem? It's because I have an injury, I won't come. That's what they'll say. So number one, I think this is what clients pay for, the attention. You need to be keen to detail. If it's warm-up, please run down the warm-up. If it's the cool-down, please make sure everyone has to stretch. We stick to basics. Just stick to basics. No matter how advanced clients are, just stick to basics. And I think sometimes we need to listen to clients, what you can, what you can't. Some clients have a history of a certain movement or anything. You can find a variation for them, make them comfortable in the gym and or even working out.
That's cool. Yeah, for sure. I think that's really, because I think even for me, just being a regular gym goer, having gone to multiple gyms all over and seeing the lack of attention that you're talking about, it's really sad, because I feel like those experiences make a huge impact on how people see fitness as a whole.
True.
I don't know what you think, but I don't know if it's knowledge or if it's low barriers to entry to being a trainer in a sense, but I find that there's a lot of misuse of that position. essentially someone has to submit to you to be trained. They're just like you're the trainer, you look fit, so I'm gonna listen to anything you say.
Okay.
But I feel like there's a lot of abuse of that position, just judging based off of some of the things we see.
You've seen, yeah.
I don't know what you think. Is it knowledge? Is it just a few bad apples, or what do you think?
First and foremost, I think knowledge is power, and every trainer, every year, you should do either a short course or anything to advance your fitness knowledge. You should quite often read more about maybe muscles or anything or movements. I'll advise trainers, if you're not familiar with a certain movement, why are you introducing it to a client? You want to look sophisticated for nothing. If you're not familiar with a CrossFit or a bodybuilding movement, teach basics. Teach basics. You know, you can reap more results from basics than sophisticated movements. Why do you want to teach something you're not familiar with? Also, again, I think there's a big challenge of I won't say attention deficit, I'll say customer service. I think this is something needs to be added in either as a unit to in the trainers training program, because I've seen personally what really pisses me off is to see a personal trainer holding a phone and training a client at the same time. I've seen that a million times. Every time I go to the gym, there's no way you'll be on your phone and you'll be able to concentrate on a client. I'll advise clients, know your value, and you've paid for the services before even you start. Just give the trainer the kind of conditions you want. If you're training me, no phone. If you're receiving an emergency or a call, it's fine, you'll excuse yourself, but you'll not be using your phone like this and I'm doing push-ups in front of you and you'll tell me I'm doing the right thing. Let's not be trainers who want your client to finish up with their workout and wait for the next client. You know, so I think a lot needs to be done, and we need to take our careers more seriously, and we need to be professional. Right? And that's what this show is about. It's about interviewing local fitness professionals. So already by the way you're talking, it's obvious that this is a profession to you. It's not just something you're doing to get some money. And I think that it's usually very evident to see the people who are in it for the money and the people who actually want to see positive change. I think hopefully with more conversations like these ones, we'll be able to help more people see their value and see what personal training ought to look like. Have you ever tried shopping for fitness equipment? If the answer is yes, I'm pretty sure you know just how expensive that can be. And so at Shujaa Fitness, we do offer locally made, very affordable and durable fitness equipment. So just hit us up on Instagram at Shujaa_fitness, and we have our catalog and the link in the bio. For those who are in Nairobi and you want to have your own home setup for an affordable price, please let us know, reach out to us. We have a range of things from dumbbells to suspension trainers to benches. It's affordable and you won't break the bank trying to stay fit while you're at home. Hit us up, let us know what your needs are, and we'll make it work. Notice that you post daily workouts on your social media. Yes, I do.
What goes into
inspired
that?
Me. I have... When I left, when I've worked for the 5-star hotel for the last 10 years, I left so many clients. And apart from that, then I moved to so many places. I have so many clients. And there's so many people who don't know me, but they cannot afford gym time, or they're not financially stable to do a gym session, right? So the goal, what really inspired me is, remember the time I could, before I used to post with a clipboard workout and what to do. And I think I used to post without a video. Then later on I started posting with videos. I realized there's housewives who are doing these workouts. They are short, some are intense, some are basic, but they'll get the job done. So the idea is I'm trying to reach out to everyone, from the house manager to the housewife to that teen who's at home, who cannot afford to join a gym. It doesn't matter if you can manage to have access to internet, you can do a workout. So my goal is to inspire everyone who wants to do a workout, but they're like, where do I start? Because the workouts are really basic, and I try as possible to show a basic variation of the movement. And how I program them is it's basically targeting the beginner and the intermediate. I've had so many inboxes, guys telling me how your workouts have transformed me. I have clients have been receiving calls from Muranga, Ruiru, Nyeri. Some of the clients tell me, we don't have a gym nearby, but this is what I do. I have clients in Tana River. They tell me, this is, if I miss by an hour posting, everyone will be calling. So usually I'm like, so inasaidia, so it's effective, it helps, so I'll keep posting. And what really motivates me is the feedback I get from my clients. They tell me how fit they've become just through the basic workouts. So I always tell advanced clients, this is not for you, but if you've been off gym, you can give it a try. If you're really advanced, this should be your conditioning piece. If you're really advanced and you need a program, DM me. I can make you a good program a custom program depending with your goals. It doesn't have to be a CrossFit or bodybuilding program. So I'll create a program according to your goals. So basically, the idea is to bring my clients closer to me, to create that fitness community that exists, and to remain relevant in the fitness field. In case you have a question, ask me anything,
With that being said, I like what you've said about it's basically making fitness very accessible, which is a phrase I've used so much since I started doing these interviews. And I think that's been the common thread in the kinds of conversations I've had so far and the kinds that I want to keep having, because fitness, just like I said in the beginning, should not be a headache.
True.
And it should be for everyone, just
it
like you said.
Should not be limited.
Yeah, you said from the house manager all the way to whoever.
Everyone. Yeah.
And so thinking about, let's bring it even more basic for people who might be listening or watching. Give us your process in terms of, if I'm a beginner and I've come to you for advice and I've never worked out before, I'm lost. How would you approach me having that psych, especially the new year coming up? How would you advise such a person? What are some of your philosophies around training that guide how you think through training someone from that level?
I really love working with beginners because they are always loyal. They follow your program to the latter. And one thing I'll advise beginners, number one, I'll advise you on how to put your nutrition in order. Once you put your nutrition in order, means your recovery will be fast. You'll start fueling your body the right way, not eating to be full, right? So number one, the base is nutrition. Then I'll train you how to warm up. I'll never refer you to 15 minutes on the treadmill. That is not warm up,
Explain why, because that's a common one. People will start with treadmill.
I know, that's cardio.
Yeah.
It's more effective if you finish with a run, because it will help burn more calories, because you've already activated your
and you also save the energy you'd have spent on weights.
Yes.
To not just
because the whole idea of warm up is to activate more muscle fibers, mobility wise, joints and everything. So generally you're just preparing for the workout. You're not supposed to do a workout as a warm up.
Yeah.
So So me as a beginner, I'll advise you, number 1, put your nutrition in order. Number 2, learn how to do warm-ups. Get a band. You can always wear a band when you're doing do glute activation.
Like a resistance band.
A resistant band, smaller, the booty bands, the small ones. They are really effective for hip activation, inner thigh, everything, glute activation. There's a lot of hip mobility you can do on the floor, on the mat. That's the kind of warm-up you're supposed to do. Depending on the kind of workout you're doing, if it's a knee dominant, you need to warm up the knee quite well. If like for instance you're doing deadlifts and bench press, you'll really need to warm up your core, lower back, hip and hamstrings really well. So you need to get down and prepare your workout, like what do I need to warm up for this, for deadlift? What do I need to warm up for squats, glute activation, hamstring, quads, calf and ankle. If it's lower back, you have to make sure by the time you get to that back squat, your lower back is fired up, right?
And then talking about squats and lower back, a lot of people fear squats because of injury in lower back and knees. Those are the two main complaints I hear. I
know. Let me tell you something. I learned how to squat in 2018 after a long career in fitness. Everyone used to say, do it like this, do it like this. It is the moment I did that CrossFit level 1 in 2017 that I realized, I'm not feeling pain. I used to feel so much pain when I squat. So I used to hate squats. Actually, my back squat used to be 40 kilos and I'm done. I'm running and that's 10 plus the bar 20.
Yeah, 20, yeah.
I'm doing 10 reps and I'm gone.
Yeah.
Wow. So I learned how to do squats. If you learn, I learned how to warm up nicely for the squats, number 1. And working on unilateral exercises like step ups.
For those who might not know what unilateral is,
it's a single step ups and maybe like reverse lunges. There's split squats,
Bulgarian,
one leg, Bulgarian. They strengthen your legs. So mostly if you have a knee problem, you'll notice that it's not your knee, it is the muscle surrounding the knee. You need to strengthen the calf and the quads on the hamstrings. Most people, hamstrings are really, really weak. Like for me, I never used to have hamstrings. And I have never done a hamstring workout or an exercise. So I started strengthening muscles around the knee. Then I learned the leg position. Actually, nowadays I do shoulder width, toes partially facing outside, and I'm really comfortable. I love squats. I'll squat twice per week or thrice, by the way.
It's funny because for me also squats was one of the
worst.
One of the last exercises that I truly learned.
You could consider,
in the gym, because I had spent a few years working out and I was actually seeing progress in my workouts and everything. Squats was the last thing I really learned, and of course the progress came later. And it's for a lot of the same reasons. It's just squats always felt so awkward. You get these random pains.
True.
You try and wrap your knees with random things and it doesn't really help.
It doesn't help actually.
And I feel like that's a very common struggle a lot of people have. Squats for some reason are the ones, but there's ways around it, like you've said.
True.
I like what you said. So you were going through that process. You'd start with nutrition, and you said teaching how to warm up. Then
your priority as a beginner is strength training, because you want to build muscle, right? If you build muscle, you can burn more calories, right? Then immediately after your strength training, I will do the 15 minutes run on the treadmill, the one you wanted to do as a warm-up.
And so please elaborate more on why you prioritize strength training, because again, one of those things that I feel like has gotten lost in translation is is weights are for a specific person.
Okay.
You know, so some people are afraid of weights.
Actually, you should not be afraid of weights. That's weights. If you priority should be weights, strength training. You know why? You're building a bone density, a high bone density. You're building more muscles in the body. For your body to be firm, you need to do strength training. You need to do weights. And let me tell you, weights are meant for everyone. All you need is proper form and technique. You don't need to lift heavy for it to make sense. You don't need to sweat for it to make sense. So do not be deceived. You know, you can finish your workout and you're not sweating, but it's effective. You know, you don't have to finish your workout and lie down until you're really finished. Now that's a workout. No, you can get to the gym, do your warm-up, strength training. Then depending with your goal, if you're looking to shred or like be physically fit or endurance wise to be good, you finish up with the cardio. I think that's the most effective way I've seen. I've tried either way and I've seen that method works really well. And I've tried it myself in the past. Because of, and this is something we talked about with Wamwere, was in high school, especially in Kenya, we're a running nation. Fitness is running, you know, that's all we know. So I also started my fitness journey in the early days in high school of just running. That was my idea of this is how I'm going to get fit. It's a good foundation.
Yeah,
it's a good foundation.
But then the problem is now you over prioritize it.
Okay.
And then for when you do maybe start going to the gym, you're spending 30 minutes on the treadmill before you even touch a weight.
Okay.
And you see, so you're always trying to stuff that 30-minute run before anything, whether you're doing chest or you're doing legs, whatever it is you're doing, you want to do your 30-minute run. And I think that's I've seen, even till today, I see it.
Actually,
it's a very common
thing. I had a client who used to do the same. So this is what we did. We agreed Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we will do a lot of strength training. Then Tuesday and Thursday, we do cardio and core. Because this client is someone who can wake up and do 15K easily and feel nice. Then they'll tell me, you know, I did 15 kilometers today. I can't do squats. So this is what we did. We agreed Tuesday, Thursday, it's conditioning day. It's cardio endurance. You can run. We can either do run, row, and bike. So we try to move around those three. So we used to prioritize on 3 days of strength training, and it really worked. By the way, he gained muscle because I think if you overrun, you tend to lose the fat and muscle at the same time.
You need to say that one, because people think that running burns fat only, but you're also breaking down your muscle. It
burns fat, but for you to run, you have to build some muscle. I actually find it easier to build muscle than lose fat.
Rather than trying to burn the fat fast and
then gain muscle. It will be harder.
That's good. So the other thing that obviously you're now a brand, you're even wearing your brand at the moment.
Vince Fitness.
Yes, on all socials and all that good stuff. How did you then transition into, or what goes into you trying to build your own brand? What are you trying to promote as a brand now? What made you transition into, I want to be my own brand?
One thing I learned, I was really pissed off that I learned to squat in 2018 after starting off in 2010 in the fitness industry, just because I was listening to different kind of people. Everyone's telling you a different kind of gospel of squatting. So I realized I need to streamline fitness in my own terms, the way I want it. I want guys to do fitness, to pursue fitness in a different way. I want it to be fun and more engaging. It doesn't have to be cruel, torturous when you think of going to the gym, like we were saying before. You're trying to make up excuses so that you don't go to the gym, you know. So I want to build a community whereby if you don't feel like working out today and you do a 45 minutes walk, it's fine. You know, if you do a bike ride 1 hour, it's fine. That is fitness. You know, it's a lifestyle. Huh? You don't have to kill yourself today. If you're not feeling well or you're not feeling, it doesn't feel like it, no problem. When you feel like it, we go for it. You know. So I want to emphasize on the basics of fitness to all the beginners or all the newcomers to the fitness industry. I want to introduce a good system, a good program of training, as opposed to the ones we are used to. And this is the one we are talking about, how the importance of warming up, then strength training, then conditioning, then cool down, and cool down and stretching. So we want to emphasize on, because most people don't warm up, most people don't cool down. They'll only do a few things. Somebody will do 30 minutes run and he's gone. We want to emphasize on the importance of, because the client wants to know the why. He doesn't care who you are or anything. He wants to know the why. Why do you want me to do this? Because it will improve this. That's when they will apply. They will start practicing.
I feel like we have dumbed down the client.
I know.
With this industry. It's interesting that you said the client wants to know why.
The why.
But I feel like the way things have been done in the past, it's as if the client doesn't need to know why. Or
even the client doesn't have a say. We want to give clients a platform to air their grievances. What do you think? How was, for instance, my programs run for 8 weeks. I will ask my client, how was that program? Give me an honest opinion. Some clients will tell me that program was boring, but effective. I've seen proper gains. One client will tell me, this program is really good, but it's tiresome. Like, for instance, if you're doing too much of cross-training, if you're doing cross-training, you'll get tired. And that's the kind of feedback we want. I want my clients to feel they are part of this. I don't want to dictate everything. You know? I want to hear their side of the story so that we can approach the next program in a different way. Right? This is my profession. I will educate you in whatever you ask me. Don't be afraid to ask me questions. If you feel something is uncomfortable, you let me know so that I can find something that works for you, right?
What are some common struggles you find with clients or people who are starting their fitness journey? And
consistency.
How would you advise them to battle it?
Number one is consistency, either in eating or training. That's the biggest challenge, because most of them challenge is not paying for the personal training. The challenge is consistency in eating and personal training. We'll start with eating. For eating, you need just make a good food preparations. They'll need to be slightly earlier before the week starts on a Sunday or Saturday. Get someone who can do food preparations for you. They'll design, this is for Monday, for Tuesday, like this, like that. Because even if I give you a diet plan, you'll not follow it. Where do you get all these foods? You know, you need to plan. If you plan ahead, you'll be able to eat that. You'll be able to eat consistently the right amount of food, protein, and carbohydrates. So if you don't get to plan before, it will be very difficult. That's number one for food. That's what I've realized. If you plan in advance, it's easier. If you don't plan, whatever goes. You know, it's survival here. There's no food. Let me eat this. For exercise, it's simple. If you're training on a Monday and you're feeling tired on a Tuesday, just walk on a Tuesday. There's no harm. Then we go again on Wednesday. On Thursday, if you're really tired, you get to rest on Thursday. We go again on Friday. Then on Saturday, we do something different like that to mix it up. And you'll keep showing up because fitness is walking is fitness, bike riding is fitness. Don't feel like guilty because of walking and it's nothing. If you're not sweating, don't worry about that. At least you've got some steps in.
That's another thing is exercise choice. I feel like people get paralyzed by trying to shoot for the stars when they think about how to get into fitness, and like you said, they'll overlook something like walking because it's like walking isn't intense. That possibly could never get me fit,
but it's very effective. You
and
can actually burn a lot of calories. You can burn more calories, even more than running, if you're consistently walking every day like that.
And it's also a gateway to other things.
True. And through walking you'll gain confidence in trying something new. That's one thing we should learn. Like if you're a beginner, don't even struggle with don't even stress that you cannot lift weights or anything. Me, I'm weak, my bones. Start slow. You start with walking, start with a single push-up, squats without weight, lunges without weight, bench dips on the bed or on the bench, anywhere. The simple body weight workouts, they'll get you going. If you do that for 2-3 months, you'll have so much confidence to join the gym. The consistency. Just do what you can with what you can.
Consistency is huge. And it's funny because it always comes up when you talk to fitness people or people who are enthusiastic about fitness, because I'm convinced that it's the number one battle you fight when you get into fitness.
True.
And it's probably the hardest thing out of everything.
Even trainers struggle with consistency.
Exactly.
I've seen people training Monday, then the week is gone. They train once, they become too busy. But if you can, why they become so busy? Because they want to train 2 hours.
Exactly.
But if you can train 1 hour or 45 minutes 45 minutes every day, you can get your 6-7 days.
It's better to do 3 or 4 45 minutes rather than 1-2 hour
per week. I know. It's actually more effective.
That's interesting. I feel like that's the mentality that hasn't been publicized enough, and I'm glad that you brought it out, because more people need to. I think there's a mind shift that needs to happen in that regard when it comes to fitness, and it's what, from my experience, has stopped a lot of people from progressing. Is because they are looking up the mountain and trying to run all the way there immediately,
instead of starting small
with what's around you
and gradually going up the mountain, right? I think that's the biggest challenge, because you can, for a beginner, 30 minutes for the first 2 weeks is enough. 30 minutes. You'll do your 15 minutes warm up, strength training, 15 minutes, and you stretch, you're gone. Then with time, your body will accommodate another 15 minutes. You can do 45 minutes. So I think 1 hour for a normal person is enough. 45, it's also okay,
Yeah, that's really good. So moving forward with your career and your business, what are some of the things you hope to accomplish now moving forward?
Hopefully, we would really love to have our own place, like a really good setup gym, functional fitness gym, where we can accommodate our community, because our community is getting bigger every month, and we are looking forward to we would love to hold a fitness competition in future, and target guys who've not been targeted before. Mostly is coming up with a gym facility and not really a CrossFit kind of competition, but a general competition that can suit everyone. But basically more of a weekend-like competition.
All the best with those goals.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully we can work together in the future to make these things a reality. Because I think with more like-minded people, especially in this industry, coming together, those things are possible.
Actually, the other thing was our goal, I told you from before, our goal was to educate our clients and preach fitness in a relatable way and manner. So our number one goal was a podcast. You know, I told you, I mentioned. Yeah, so that was the number one goal. Then eventually we can reach out to as many people as possible. Then we'll come to the gym and the competition.
I hope this helps in regards with that, and any other way we can support you guys. We are very open to
Thank
that.
you so much.
Hopefully we'll get more people from the community to come by and share this message of fitness. Help just spread that message, give helpful tips like you've done so far. Is there anything else you'd like to promote? You said you do the boot camps.
We do boot camps, like our first one in 2023 is on 7th. January. We usually do them at Njau Stadium. We feel that Njau Stadium is quite central for everyone, and the venue is a sport facility. You know, it's a sports facility. So we do them at Njau Stadium. Then after that, the following week we'll be in Parklands. Then we keep alternating from Njau Stadium to Parklands, Njau Stadium.
Nice.
Nice.
And again, your social media is
Vinnie Njau. We have two. The one for boot camps is Vince Functional Fitness on Instagram. The personal one that we post workouts is Vince Fitness or Vinnie Njau. Then same Vinnie Njau, TikTok and Twitter. Nice. All the best with your future plans, and hoping to grow together. Thank you so much. Hopefully we can grow together. You're doing something really great.
Thank you.
And I'm happy that you came up with this idea.
Thanks.
I'll be full throttle to help you in any way.
I appreciate that a lot. Thanks to Vinnie for coming by today. I hope his messages have reached you. Again, fitness should not be a headache. Like we said, it starts with the small steps, and hopefully some of the discussions we've had today can help someone out there who is just beginning their journey. I'm sure there'll be a lot of new year, new me people out there who want to start that fitness journey. So I hope some of these tips could be helpful, and follow him on social media and his other pages as well, to do with the boot camps and all that good stuff, so that you can keep up, get into the conversation, and figure out how you can find your way through fitness, because we all found our way individually. There's multiple ways to be into fitness, whether you're into CrossFit, you're into bodyweight exercises, bodybuilding. There's something for everyone, and I think we shouldn't be so stuck on trying to do it one way, and it shouldn't be a fear-filled experience. So all the best to everyone out there, and much thanks for anyone watching and listening. So we'll catch you on the next episode. Thank you for listening to the Shujaa Fitcast. For more information and business inquiries, email us at shujaafitnesswarrior@gmail.com. Follow us on social media at Shujaa_fitness on Instagram, at Shujaa Fitness on Facebook and TikTok, and subscribe to our channel at Shujaa Fitness on YouTube. For audio versions of this podcast, check us out on Spotify and Boomplay. This show was recorded and produced at the Represented Studio in Nairobi, Kenya. Special thanks to Lucid for the background music.